this is a jig for doing this decoration, the string decoration, and with this you can cut the groove with this.
Oh,
Lie-Nielsen used to make this. It's now made by another company, but this one does all the fancy work, like this piece here.
oh, okay.
The straight lines are done with this cutter, which it works like with a fence.
And it cuts both ways.
Yeah, you cut it. You just shave it this way because it has 3 teeth. The 2 outside teeth are flat on this side, and the tooth in the center is flat on the other side, so it cuts a nice even channel.
And you can cut across grain too, right?
You could, yeah.
Oh, that's very
It'll-
nice.
If you got it nice and sharp, it won't hurt the cross grain. I don't use it for cross grain very much. Usually, if I'm gonna put this in, I cut that with a knife and use the little router plane to clean it out. So,
Wow. So that's how you can get all the arcs consistent without leaving a
Yes.
mark on the wood. So the center is off on the jig,
right.
on the fixture. Oh, that's
There's another way of doing it.
this is interesting.
There's another way of doing it if you want to, like on the front of the door over here on this cabinet. In order to do some of this, you have to have something to put your center on. You don't want to put a point in the wood here unless you're going to cover it up. So this little jig put some sandpaper on it, and that's my pivot point.
Okay.
So I can lay it on the wood anywhere I need it, and operate off of this.
Oh, okay. I see.
You follow?
Yeah. Oh. Simple jig, but solves a lot of problems.
Yep. This one really simple. This is a cutting jig for the string.
Okay.
So, and this is the cutter that comes with the set, and you just cut that string off like that, and I might as well finish it. And this is holly, so it's very flexible.
It is.
And as you can see, the straight line
That inlaid
cutter
into this.
for this, and then I do this by I cut the bellflowers with a chisel. This is the number 5 chisel, and it's just the shape that you need. And I cut both the bellflowers out of the holly
And the inlay?
or there's green and the holly and dyed green, and then I split them in half and put a piece of veneer tape and put the 2 pieces back in here, and then as long as I've got veneer tape holding them together, then I can inlay them. So this one here still has the veneer tape on it. And once you put it in, then you can just scrape off that veneer tape. But that's the only tool you need to make the bellflowers. Just different sized.
Question. So the tool to cut this line, it has only blade that goes with the grain, but what's removing that material?
It comes out when you cut it. It actually cleans itself.
Oh, okay.
I can probably do it. This is a piece of cherry. I prefer to use mahogany.
I like mahogany too. I made my bed in mahogany.
Yeah. So this is a cute little jig. It works
It
really
is.
well for tapered things. Yeah. It clogs up a little bit, but
Oh, after a few passes, the chips will come out.
yeah,
That's
it works. It works real well.
yeah.
Then some stringing. cool.
Can I see that blade, please? Thank you.
Put that on camera, man.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Long time no see.
And then you can just
Oh.
put your string in a little bit of glue and glue it up, and then shave off the excess. I always make it twice as deep as it needs to be, so you have some proud on
Okay.
it. And then you can shave it down to the surface.
But you still need to put glue in it, right?
Yeah, you glue it in.
Okay. What glue do you use? Do you high glue or just
I'm using this right here. It's just white
PVA?
glue.
Okay.
You can use high glue. I'm very impatient.
Yeah, you want to go quick?
I don't stop. I just keep on going, and I use the white glue. If I have a pot of glue going, I will suck it up in a syringe and use the high glue.
Okay.
But to cook up a pot just for this,
That's too much. Right?
I have it'd take an hour to get it up to temperature.
How to get these strips into the right thickness?
Okay, I buy the holly, 8-quarter holly, and I have a Tenaru blade. It's a Japanese carbide blade, and it's 7 1/4 inch, 16th of an inch wide.
Oh, that's
thin.
really thin.
Real thin.
Yeah.
It's carbide.
Okay.
So you can use it in a table saw.
What?
Okay. But you don't have a lot of height. But there's enough there.
You don't need that much height.
There's
for
enough
that.
there to get the 8-quarter.
Okay.
Okay. And then you set your fence so that the wood is like a 30-second away from the fence.
Okay.
Just a little space there between the fence and the blade.
Okay.
Okay. Then you're going to be cutting the piece next to the fence. The push stick is a piece of MDF. So I put a little foot on the end of the MDF, a hook,
Yeah.
and I put it right up against the fence. So the blade is going to cut into the MDF as well as through this,
Okay.
and it'll also push out that little piece as it comes through. So you cut it up against the fence. That's how you can control the thickness.
It's the same every time.
But if it's not quite right, and you try to put that in and it doesn't work, you use this. Come over here and you hold this up against it like that.
Oh,
And it,
that
and
controls
it
the
shaves
thickness.
it off. These are sharpened like a scraper.
Oh, okay.
There's a burr on the end, and you just pull it through, and then you get it down to the right thickness, and you can just.
When it's right, it doesn't cut anymore. So they're
no,
all the same.
No, I'm putting pressure on it with my finger.
Oh, okay. You do need to control the cut.
I was taking a little bit off, but it fits in there nice and tight.
Oh, okay. I see.
To work on it.
Wow.
He made a little mini bench here.
Yeah,
This is a inlay bench that was designed by Steve Latta. Steve Latta actually invented these tools. He designed these tools. Lie-Nielsen used to make them. They don't make them anymore.
Oh.
But Red Rose Reproductions, that's the guy that's making them now. Okay? It's about $700 for the set. And you get this piece here, which is for doing circles and curves and what have you. You get this for shaping.
Okay.
The straight cutter, and then the slicer.
Oh, that's all together
That's
for.
all the set. It's
Oh.
$700 for the set.
That's
It
very
used to be
good.
$500 when they had it.
Oh, material went up.
That was a while ago.
So he made this bench. It's actually in fine woodworking. If you go back a few years, Steve Latta designed it, and he's a real good friend of mine. He taught was a secondary school wood shop in Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania Dutch.
Man. Cool.
And this
very
is just
interesting.
for doing 45s. When I inlay these things and run around the corner or something, I just lay them on here. Lay it on there, hold it up tight with a block, and then use a straight chisel to cut the 45.
Consistency.
Consistency. And jigs.
Yeah, jigs are right. Well, see, if you want to reproduce this on like 4 legs or 8 legs, how many you need, you have to have a jig so you can reproduce the pattern.
Exactly.
So these are the measurements. This measurement right here is for this curve right here,
curve right there.
and this curve here. So this one here, you move up for this one here.
And that one there is
That goes here.
right. That is
And
cool.
then this one over here does this one right here.
Right.
So if I extend this out,
And you match it to that, right?
let's see, I want to
Put
do
it on the match here.
this one here.
That's your what's it called? Storyboard, story stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much a jig.
So you don't need to write a number of measurements.
no,
You just make a
he's
mark,
got it.
and you get to the mark every time.
So that gives you this one right here.
You just go back and forth. Yeah, if I was doing a lot of that back in the day, I would have done that. And that one does that one. That's how he recreates that, Dad. You see how he recreates that?
So after that's done, you want to go ahead and finish everything, but here is going to be a little round. I call them berries, but you can see that.
Oh, that
That
fit
goes
is
right in, that
nice.
fits in
tight.
there.
And then I come over here and get
You got a little bearing and sits.
one of these, and it will be inlaid at this point.
Bam. And that's Holly also, right?
That's Holly. And I cut that with a piece of brass. You can get brass tubing at Home and Hobby, and then make your own. But you want to make sure that you match it to a drill bit. This is a 1/4 inch. So this will cut the plug, and this will cut the hole for the plug.
Right, yeah. That's a good idea. See that?
So the way I use this brass is I have teeth on both ends. So this one I will put a plug in it so that it's when I put that up in the drill press,
Right.
it won't crush
Right.
the brass. And then I cut a whole bunch of
The plugs.
plugs, and I had another piece here.
Oh yeah.
So I cut a whole bunch of plugs. I only go maybe a 1/4 inch deep
Right.
because I'm going to be inlaying it.
Exactly.
And once I get a whole bunch of them, a 1/4 inch, and go to the bandsaw and cut them off,
Cut them off. Yeah. There you go.
and they all fall out. So
And then you put them in that little box.
yeah.
Save for another day. Is that yours? This is mine. This isn't mine. That's his.
Paid much attention to the type of furniture that I work on. It's all from the federal period, 1790 to 1810. And these are some of the bendings that we make. This is one that was real popular. That's made. That's actually made with a plug cutter. Really? You cut 5/8 plugs, 3/8 plugs, and then you drill a hole, put the 5/8